All right, I report, I decide, and I'm sorry, Jill, but it just doesn't work that way. You can't lie to us 2 years ago and then expect us to believe you now. All you accomplish with this new interview this week is to confirm that you're a liar. And 2 years ago, when everything was on the line, the American presidency, the fate of 340 million Americans, you chose to lie about your husband's health with everybody else because you didn't want to hurt his chances at getting reelected. Because you just love being First Lady so much, which is exactly what a sociopath would do, and that's what Jill did. Sorry, Dr. Jill, the woman who got an EDD in education at the University of Delaware, online, by the way, in 2006, who made everyone call her a doctor. Here's where it all started. So Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. The race at this time was still very tight, June of 2024. In the media, we're still covering up for Joe Biden. Jake Tapper was still covering up for Joe Biden when this happened.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Joe Biden was finally exposed that night. Everything we'd been talking about here on Newsmax for years on my old show, the morning show, Wake Up America, had finally been exposed. For years, Jake Tapper and the rest of the legacy media said that we were fringe on Newsmax. I remember this. You didn't go to medical school. How could you possibly diagnose what was going on with Joe Biden? Well, never acknowledging that we could see with our own eyes that something was going on. I might not have a medical degree, but I do have eyes. I've got a brain. I've got life experience. And Joe Biden was clearly not doing well ever for 4 years. Then finally, 2 years after that night, this week, Dr. Jill decided to tell the truth about her husband that night.
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Think about that. Jill wants you to feel bad for her. Jill Biden, who's been married to Joe for almost 50 years, after having an affair with another man when she was married, allegedly. That's another story. But that night, debate night, she thought her husband of 48 years was having a stroke. Think about that. Joe Biden has already had 2 brain aneurysms that we know about, and she thought her husband, the sitting president, was having a stroke. She didn't say anything. She let him stay in the race. She let him continue the debate. She told the world he was fine. What kind of person does that to someone they love? Jill Biden, that's who. Then after the debate, she took the man who she thought might have just had a stroke on a tour to prove just how well he was doing. Instead of having him checked out by doctors off stage, instead of getting him home immediately, Dr. Jill kept Joe out in public for hours after that debate, and it did not go well.
Mr. President, how did you perform tonight? I think you did well. Do you have any concerns there? Concerned that you should out that you're not fit for the job, your voice, your performance tonight. Do you have any concerns about your performance? No, it's hard to debate a liar. New York Times pointed out he lied 26 times. Big lies.
Look at the way everybody's looking at him, like they know something is wrong. And then immediately after the debate, Jill Biden grabbed the mic, took the stage to tell her husband, who might have just had a stroke, according to her, how well he did on the debate stage.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie!
No, Jill, Donald Trump didn't lie. You did. You lied to the American people for 4 years. You're still lying. You're lying again today as you try to sell a book and make money off the lies you've been telling your entire life. And that is the real Dr. Jill Biden. In I Report, I Decide.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.